Well, you didn't say wait.
Oh, the light's not on. Hello, you guys.
And welcome to another.
Exciting episode. I feel it real fun for you.
Oh my God, I am doing so much
Snuck that
crazy cool stuff today.
Oh, yeah.
Wait till you see it. I'll be sending out a bonus email.
A bonus email.
Yep.
Cool.
And some people will like it. Some people are grumpy. Have you ever noticed some people? I'm not naming names.
No.
No, but some people are just grumpy no matter what you do. They're always
No matter
grumpy.
what I do.
Yeah, they're always grumpy, aren't they?
Yes, I know people like that.
Right. Anyway.
So it's your manifesting questions answered live on the 6th of May, 2022.
Let's toss
Don't
it
forget,
back to-
Mother's Day is on Sunday.
That's right. That woman is going to go see that ungrateful woman. I'm going to have pizza. It's going to be great. Triple D people, yo ho ho.
Hello.
Music and passion, we're always.
The fashion.
It's true though, isn't it?
What?
That woman's going to go see that ungrateful woman,
Which one are we talking about?
and I'm going to have pizza. Radio.
Joking.
Music and passion, we're always.
Yes.
Sizzle, that's right. Oh my God. I did a podcast today, Sizzle. Catch up, right? Yo, Mal, let me know about tomorrow whenever you're localized, because I know you got adventures going on.
Adventures.
But Sizzle put up a little graphic someplace. It was, I've never seen a word order a pizza or something like that. It was a quote of mine, right? But since I never say the same thing twice, right?
Yeah.
So that's true. So I'm having pizza, right? I've never seen a word order a pizza. No. I didn't have to vibrationally align with. Anyway, I'll be yakking about that tomorrow or the day after, whenever that woman goes to see that ungrateful woman.
Yep.
Anyway, Victoria.
So go to easymanifestingmethods.com.
Go there, do that. Now, when you subscribe, right, make sure you find that confirmation email. It may be in your inbox. If you're one of these security nut people, it may end up in your spam. Drag it into your inbox, get it out of your promotions, put it in your inbox, click the link. I promise you, I'll send you something every day till one of us dies or you say no. Right? Yeah, it doesn't matter to me, right? Because I just want you to be blessed. But anyway.
Join our 90-day adventure at manifestingmasterycourse.com.
$97, 90-day program. Some people imagine that's a big deal and so on and so forth. I say, look, man, $1 a day, cup of coffee, come on.
Yeah.
What's your next excuse going to be? Like, seriously, we have people that, I saved it up. And then I decided to wait a couple months just in case. Right? Yeah. And then a war came or the loogie or a face mask. There's
the
always an
green hat
excuse.
lady.
Right?
Isn't it? That's the green hat lady.
Yeah, absolutely. I got the money, but I'm not going to spend it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'd spend it on something I need to.
And for refunds, visit our YouTube channel, feelitrealfun.com.
That's right. Hey, by the way, in 7 days or 8 days, depending upon which day it is for you right now, what day you are in the world, Dream Driven Day kicks off, right? The seats are half gone. I'm sending out emails. I'm sending out cool little emails every day, which is going to be cool because the people that don't like us are going to unsubscribe.
Oh, that's good.
That'll save us money, right? Oh, I love saving
How
money.
does it save us money?
Oh, it keeps us under that 10,000, that
limit.
extra. Yeah, because we got 10,000, we got 10,000, so it keeps us under the second 10,000.
Yeah, got you.
It'll save us $10 a month.
You could buy Manifesting Mastery.
Yeah, 9 months, 10 months, 9.7 months.
Yeah.
Radio. Anyway, dreamdrivenday.com. Look at that. People were saying Dream Driven Day rocks, so on and so forth. I had a guy the other day, so I sent out one of the emails inviting people to dreamdrivenday.com. And I mentioned like there were 700, there are almost 900 emails are posted now in the Law of Attraction by Neville Goddard group, right? And he says, how do I know they're not all bots?
900 that have been tagged, Dream Driven.
Yeah, that have been tagged, right?
Yeah.
That means there's probably about 1,300.
Yeah.
But again, I'm making that number up, right? I'm the guy that tells you shit the way it is. I even say the word shit the way it is.
Yeah.
Right? And he says, oh, what if they're all bots? And I wrote back something like, I must be really fucking busy then. Right? Running all those bots to put up all those photos and pictures and making up people like Grant Monk and Alessandra. How the fuck would I come up with ego? And let's face it, look at me. Right? Could I make ego up?
Yeah.
God, she's like the new incarnation of Willie D. Harris Jr. but anyway, seriously. Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, what are bots? great question. Bots are basically accounts that
Like a
I
robot.
don't even know. Right? How could a
But they troll and
Yeah.
they do all of that sort of stuff and make up shit.
make up shit?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm too
Excellent.
busy
Who
having
asked what are
fun.
bots?
Alessandra,
All right.
did you see her sunglasses that look like this? Rhodolite. I gotta show you those. Right. Anyway, yeah, I can't make a ego up, right?
Oh, she's one of a kind. That's
Anyway.
right.
Yeah, I should do a post on that.
Okay.
All right.
So will we dive in?
Let's dive in. Join us at dreamdrivenday.com. Just do it. If you've done it before and you want to do it again, KOROLL's on time. What, 4?
And Timbo.
Yeah. Well, Tim's not in this time.
Oh, I thought you said he was.
No, he's in the United States.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
There we go.
Carolyn, hey, there's one of my bots. You're not even lying. Thank you, bot.
Thank you.
Tabitha, another bot. Right? KOROLL, another bot.
All right, we're going to start.
All right, let's dive
The
in.
first question is from Jennifer in Manifesting Mastery. Different levels of feeling good.
Good. You have to say it that way.
Of feeling good.
Good.
And Jennifer asks, I'm going to do Manifesting Mastery over again. I loved it the first time.
How cool was that?
Yeah,
Oh,
cool. My thought is there are different levels to feeling good. Exciting, peaceful, joy, love, etc. Do the different levels of feeling good affect manifestation?
cool. I got a couple ways I could answer that, right? One, we did a cool little course called metamanifesting.com. That's the one I never promote. Almost no one ever finds it, but it's got some really cool shit in there. And we've got a model in there that goes something like drinking straw, garden hose, and
yeah.
fire hose.
Yeah.
So there are these drinking straw kind of experiences that are like sucking, like, right?
Yeah.
like fear, depression,
Trying to
and
suck
stuff
the
like
life
that.
out of something,
And you're
yeah.
just trying to suck it in, right? Suck it
Yeah.
up, suck it in. And then there's the garden hose, right? The garden hose is sort of like, you feel good. Right? I feel good about things. Feel good, right?
Yeah.
And then there's the fire hose, Cassidy. I got your email. I will be getting back in touch with you. I got like a lot of emails, right?
Oh.
So Cassidy, I got your email. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear the sound of my voice saying, Cassidy, I got your email. I will be getting back to you. I love you. But anyway, the different levels to feeling good. And then there's the fire hose. The fire hose is really coming from these peace and joy and really awakened kind of things. Does it affect the speed? I don't know. But yeah, and I'm just saying that because this is a show and I can't go into a lot of detail. I will say this: richness of experience rocks. So a lot of people try to just experience calm, peace, and we call that the swamp in Triple D. On the other hand, I'm at peace because I know who I am and how this works. Right? It's a very different kind of peace. Excitement. Some people can't stand it because they're worried it's going to end or something, versus I anticipate all sorts of good stuff for lunch and afterwards for dessert. So my suggestion play, if you're really drawn to some different things, I'm going to invite you into Dream Driven Day because that's my job this week. Right, to get everyone I can in the Triple D because I am a greedy capitalist and I'm only concerned about me having more bots. But play with this stuff. You're onto something. I can guarantee that. And check out that chart at metamanifesting.com. That little chart. And there's a couple free little videos. Again, I'm not just trying to sell things all the time. No. But I'm actually educating too.
Check out the chart.
Check out the chart.
Goody.
Seriously. Like that, we've printed out like 700 copies of it one time. Victoria said, "You're killing a lot of trees." And I said, "I'm changing lives. Woman, sit back. Out." All right, let us continue.
Excellent. So that was for Jennifer. Thanks for your question and enjoy Manifesting Mastery again.
Yeah, totally. I got it. We got the critic that showed up. I love the critics. And they say, well, if it works so goddamn good, why do people take it more than once? I said, you ever eat a Cheeto? Just one?
You just want more.
Yeah. Or we get the yummy French bread. I was talking about that in the podcast this morning. When people come over, we get the French bread. Not the French bread. Sorry, the sourdough bread from the French bakery.
That's the yummy one.
Oh, my God. They make French. I mean, they have French butter, too. Like, I bring it home and start smearing on things, and Victoria can't get enough of it. Anyway, KOROLL, I eat the bag. It's more nutritional, right? If you're going to eat the Cheetos, you should eat the bag if you want some nutrition. Alessandra's done MM over 3 times. Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. And you sent me the updates. You actually do it, right? Which is, but let us continue.
Cool. The next question's from Zuzanna in Manifesting Mastery, Angrier with Myself. Zuzanna asks, when I notice unwanted things my imaginings brought, I get stuck in anger or self-pity.
I love those ones.
I'm having a hard time forgiving and imagining lovingly for myself or for others involved, even though I know it's just a state.
Oh, see, notice how I do not want to talk about meta manifesting this morning. I swear to God I don't.
Yeah.
But that's one of the suck states, drinking straw, anger,
Yeah.
self-pity. Right? Garden hose. At least you're feeling happy, joy with garden hose. But fire hose is really that whole thing of on fire.
Yeah.
That's all I got there. Go check out the videos at metamanifesting.com. And the other thing I'm going to mention is this. So garden hose sucks, right? As soon as you can give thanks, you're moving up, and this drinking straw sucks. As soon as you can give thanks and celebrate that you noticed, you go from sucking to having it come out.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, you move into the garden hose and then fire hose with the single act of celebrating. And I swear to God, anybody who says, I never get upset, it's like, lock me in a room with you for 10 minutes. I will jerk I will jerk your chain to the point. Yeah, how many people do I upset a day? I can upset people in ways that you can't imagine, right? So there's this lovely girl walking past us today while we're walking near the dog park. And I'm almost positive it's one that we haven't seen in about a year. And so I look over, I give a little wave, and she sort of looks away. I'm like, you don't stand a chance, sweetheart.
Hiya.
I'm like, yo, hiya. And she looks over, oh, hey, right? She was blowing me off because she didn't think that she knew us. Look at me, right? Do I stand out? But for whatever reason, she was like looking away a little bit, and it's like, no, I'm going to risk it, right? I'm going to risk it, right? Here's the cool thing. When you notice that you're upset, it's time for a risk. Stop, be still, stretch a little bit, celebrate noticing that, fudge, man, I was lost. She was lost, blowing us off. How happy was she to see us?
She was.
She was genuinely happy.
Yeah.
Right? I don't mean like robot happy.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope the bot guy, we'll call him Bot Barry. I don't know his name.
Bot
Barry, the one that says it's
Bot
all
Bob.
bots. Bot Bob. No, we've
Bob.
Bob. No. I don't. We'll continue. Okay. Can you tell I'm talking fast because I'm cold?
Robot.
Robot. I do like that. That's good. Robot. Usha, Triple D, welcome to the show.
Yeah,
all right.
Cool, excellent. So that was for Zuzanna.
Yeah,
Zuzanna.
Celebrate you noticing. And by the way, if you didn't celebrate you noticing yesterday, revise yesterday. I am so cool. Next.
The next one's from Dream Driven Day, Nancy. Help
D.
with happy loving wife state. And Nancy asks, masculine and feminine energy with states of happy loving husband or wife.
Now, one of the things that we've learned is not to mention celebrities like whose initials are Dave Chappelle on the show. Because what happens is invariably people whose initials like Joe Weldon send us a news report saying, hey, somebody just you had to go at him with a knife and a fake gun.
I know.
Right? Why not have a fake knife and a real gun? I don't understand people from California. Right? I love you guys, but it's like,
How come security didn't go off?
it was a fake gun.
But a knife.
I don't know. Maybe it's a ceramic knife. I mean, that's what I'd do. I mean, I'd just get a femur bone of something and you heat it and you smash it. And so, since it's a femur bone, it shows up as a bone. But anyway, I digress on how I would kill people. What the fuck was the question? Oh yeah, happy living.
Wife
right.
state.
So here's the fun thing, right? So, and I bring up Dave Chappelle for a reason because you got to have a sense of humor. Right? In Triple D, Crass Commercial, the doors are open. We start in 7 days. We explore masculine and feminine as one of the attitudes, right? Actually, two of the attitudes. One of the attitudes. One of the attitudes says masculine and feminine, right? Now, here's the cool thing. The masculine pretty much functions like this. There's a deer, stick a spear in it. That's what the masculine does, right? When a woman tells a guy about something, he's going, where do you want me to stick the spear? When a guy sees a woman, he's going, where do I want to stick the spear? Right? It's like, don't tell me about the grass being cut. You want the grass cut? Tell me, I'll go cut it. Right? Now, here's the cool thing, right? Whenever you really get, that's what the masculine does. It's good at one thing at a time, and it's pretty much nailing something, right? On the other hand, the feminine energy, quote unquote, and each of both of us have both of each of those, right? Somebody hashtag that. Each of both of us have both of each of those, right?
So in our family, one person has more feminine energy than the other.
Radio. I work hard every day of my life.
Anyway,
Ooh,
yes.
That's right. So, and then there's the feminine. The feminine quality. I'm not talking men versus women here, and here's where it gets all dicky. The feminine quality has this cave thing, this nurturing, this able to. The feminine quality has the capacity to breastfeed, bounce baby, burp baby, change baby, cook dinner, cure the hide, butcher the meat, all at the same time, while carrying on the. They used to call it the grandmother grapevine.
The grandmother grapevine.
Grandmother grapevine. That's how the news moved through the tribe. So while all the women are bouncing and breastfeeding and tanning hides and cooking meals and shit, they're getting the news moving.
Oh, from the grandmothers.
Yeah, well, they're all talking. So we call it gossip today.
Right.
Back in the old days, it was the news. It was the information that the tribe needed to function.
Got ya.
Because here's what we do as guys. We go, something to stick a spear into. Right? That's what guys do, right? And here's the fun thing. Ready? And I will get back to this. Ready? Help with happy, loving wife state and masculine, feminine. When a woman, quote unquote, demonizes the masculine energy, or when a man demonizes the woman energy, quote unquote, things hit the fan. But when you can honor both your masculine and feminine, everything goes really smooth. Happy, loving husband, honoring both his feminine and masculine sides, can honor her masculine and feminine sides. Happy, loving husband who's like, don't understand that woman's always like, Anyway, and what do women say? Men, they only got one thing on their mind, is sticking a spear in a deer. Yeah, hunting camp. But we'll work this into some other things. Jesslyn says, used to be too masculine. Now I'm focusing on honoring the feminine side more. That's right. So, have fun. Let's continue and notice how this weaves in.
Okay.
And again, notice that, and this is why we bring up Dave Chappelle, by the way. Dave brings a lot of humor and insight to what he does. He really does, right? And if you just look at the surface level, stuff like him getting attacked on stage happens. On the other hand, if you go a little bit deeper, notice what is he really trying to foster? What's he nurturing?
Yeah.
What's he exploring in his comedy? There's a lot of wisdom and gold there. I suspect he'll show up in the Dream Driven Day showing up. But
Oh, I see. I thought you meant him personally.
you never know. I had this guy, right?
Should send him a personal invite. Hey, Dave.
This
Wanna do
is also where I see things going, right? You know what I mean? Like, there's this really big named marketer, advertising, copywriter guy in New York City who buys Manifesting Mastery course one day, and the first thing I go is rightio, and then I just make because it's like something at something.com. And so I thought, Jesus, right? Well, I know my buddy Dave follows him as well, so I write, and he's like, oh yeah, he's into your kind of stuff. Like, wow. One of my heroes bought one of my courses.
Nice.
But let us continue with some
Okay.
salad.
The next question's from Dream Driven Day KOROLL,
Boom.
Neville, Goddard, and the SABBATH. And KOROLL asks, can you talk later, we can talk now, about
Oh, she took my
how
thunder.
not to mess up the Sabbath,
Radio.
day of rest.
So in dreamdrivenday.com, we talk about cortisol. And cortisol will drive you to have to fix something right the fuck now. Fuck, I got to do something. Fuck, I got to do something. Right? It'll have you argue with yourself. It'll have you got to do something. The key to killing cortisol is to just not feed it. Right? So it's like radio. So I'm working on a web page right now because I want to shoot something out today. And it's like, if I work on fixing something, but on the other hand, if it's like, right, this is what I can get done before the show. What can I get done before the show? And have it give to me and give to the show, this whole nurturing thing going on. So I start sticking my spear in. Okay, cool. I can transfer these two things over. I can write this little tiny bit here. I can change this. So I keep sticking my spear, right? And I only do what will nurture me so that I come to the show fresh. I'm not doing what I can get done so I'm not frantic later. That's cortisol.
Yeah.
But the whole thing with the Sabbath is when I nail, right, I'm really nailing some good shit. I'm feeling satisfied when I walk into the show today. I get done, boom, 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 boom. And part of that was a testimony of yours going on to the instant manifesting thing I'm going to be sending out later. But the whole thing with the Sabbath is, remember, it is the day of rest. If cortisol shows up, rest and just let it die. Remember, you let the dead bury the dead. Ooh, more triple D. So, KOROLL, great question. All right? When that fish hook is dangling there, you get to go, ooh, baby. I'm anticipating somebody else grabbing that hook.
It's a dangling participle.
It's a dangling participle.
Cool. Excellent. Let the dead bury the dead. Yeah.
That's right.
Cool. All right. Thanks, KOROLL, for your question. And thank you, Tony, for your answer.
Me.
For all the last ones as well. The next question.
I feel so good.
Do ya?
Yeah.
The next question's from Jonathan in Manifesting Mastery.
Yo.
Speedy state return. How do you make your states concrete? I find myself falling out of state quickly. I assume it eventually becomes who you are naturally after enough feeling it real.
All right, let's start with concrete states.
I wouldn't want to be in a concrete state.
Well, you know what, Grandpa?
If you were in the state
this ought to be really good, right?
loving trainer in a concrete way, there'd be no room for happy loving husband,
Yes.
or happy loving puppy dad.
Well, you know, Steve walks warily down the street.
Anyway, what were you going to say? What your wisdom? How do you make your states concrete?
So you know what Grandpa used to say? He used to say, you got a brain like concrete, boy.
Got a what like concrete?
Brain.
A brain.
Yep. Say all mixed up and permanently set. I notice when people are confused that they're in concrete states. It's like, I am positive this is hard. I'm like, you're positive it's hard. Yeah, I'm confident I'm going to have a hard time with this, right? I'm not a fan of confidence, by the way. I'm not a fan of trying to stay in the castle, by the way. Make little trips out into the kingdom and return to the castle. Neville talked about your dwelling place.
That's right, the state you most commonly return to.
Yep. And so if you try to get in your house and barricade it, like when the loogie was a big thing here, like about a year and a half ago, and like everybody was like spraying and wiping and wearing gloves and shit. There was one house we used to pass on. Well, you weren't going because they only allowed one person out at a time from a house and all that dumb shit. So I'd go to the dog park by myself and pass this house where somebody put up tape and they duct taped their windows and so on.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. It's like they built their own little isolation chamber. Right? And it's like, that's going to kill them. Right? So it's like they literally taped and sealed all their windows and doors and stuff. And it was like, holy shit, man, I hope they got a lot of beans, you know? Because meat ain't going to last all that long, you know what I mean? Beans can last for years. I mean, it's going to get gassy in the damn place, too. So Neville taught to return. The states that you most commonly return to are your dwelling places, right? On the property here, we've got the she shed, the cottage, and the house. In my life, I've got happy, loving husband, happy, loving teacher, happy, loving trainer. I also have argument with cube, but that's a state I try to leave as often as possible unless I'm having a lot of fun, right? Habeas corpus, but that's another story. So this whole thing of how do you make your states concrete? Don't bother, right? All mixed up and permanently set. The most confident people I know are the ones that insist it's hard. They insist that if you imagine vision boards work, they do. It's like, radio. So I'm going to waste a couple years imagining vision boards work, so they do. right?
Yeah, God,
And again,
yeah.
I'm not, yeah, I know you're not doing this, Jonathan, because you're smart and cool and you're a manifesting master at course.com. But here's the thing, ready? Celebrate falling out of your state. Because if I'm a happy, loving husband, and then she comes around and I'm in there going, yak, 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 yak. If she would only shut
Yak,
up,
yak, yak.
yak, yak, yak. If she'd just be the quiet, you know what I mean? If I can celebrate noticing 20 is in the state called asshole, right? It's like, oh my God, this is great, right? And then suddenly she's going, what are you laughing at?
Nothing.
Nothing. Yak, 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 right? Because I'm the one yakking. It ain't her, right?
Yeah.
So as soon as you notice that you've fallen out of a state quickly, right? Have a giggle. Celebrate you. Because as soon as you celebrate you, you're noticing I'm really beyond the shit state. I'm even beyond the good state. I'm whatever gives life to whatever state. And build a couple structures on your property. Loving husband, loving teacher, loving puppy dad. Those of you who want to dive deep into that, we do that in manifestingtothemax.com. And here's the last part, and this is gold. I love that you asked this because you're getting it. I assume it eventually becomes who you are naturally after enough feeling it real. Natural is so important. When Neville said when you put on a new suit of clothing, it doesn't feel right at first. But you ever notice that when I was a cop, the first time, right? So I go to the cop shop, right? There actually is a place in, it's not Monongahela, but it's a place that was called something like the cop shop, and that's where all the cops went to get their stuff, right? And so I'd show up and I'd show them my badge and so on. I'm the new officer, West Newton, Pennsylvania. Well, come on, West Newton, let's try something on. So they start fitting me for uniforms, right? And I put on the uniform, and this is the first thing I do, right? I put on the uniform, and I wiggle a little bit, and he goes, everyone does that. I'm like, why? And then he said, do yourself a favor. So he puts me in a full uniform, straps a gun belt on me, and he says, jump up and down. And I just looked at him, I'm like, are you nuts? And he goes, you're going to be jumping up and down on the job. We want your uniform to fit so you can be active. Being a cop isn't about just looking hot, right? So, you put on, the first time I put on the uniform, so I go to work, Chief Gritcher's in the car with me. He's my training officer. We pull over a truck for coming down West Newton Hill because they weren't allowed to come over a certain weight class. And he looks at me and he says, you need to remember one thing. And I said, what's that, sir? And he just looks at me. He goes, you're the cop. And I went out, hey, how you doing? You're not supposed to come down the hill. Yeah, I know. You're not supposed to admit to me that you know. Right?
Yeah, just say,
right.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, at least play
officer.
dumb, right? Thank me for pulling you over, and at least play dumb, right? So part of law enforcement is education, right? But the whole idea is when you put on that new suit of clothes, you got to wiggle into it a little bit. You get to discover how you make it yours. And so the first time being a cop was awkward for the first day, right? After a couple donuts, right?
First day.
Yeah.
It'd be awkward for a while, wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
for a little
if you're
while.
not used to the job.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Uniform.
but at some point, it's like, it's like I could, it's these cords. Yeah, it's not natural for me now. Like I would feel very weird carrying a gun at this point. I haven't carried one for like 13 years, roughly. Right?
I would feel very uncomfortable
Yeah, but 13 years ago, it felt very comfortable carrying one.
if you did. Right.
Like, I mean, if I was going to the Dave Chappelle show, I'd be strapping
Strap
up.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I'd be like I used to be double strap, right? Yeah, double strap. My other stripper name.
Double strap.
Yeah, if you missed yesterday's
I
lunch
know.
show.
Was
So-
it Sweet Pea? I don't remember what it was.
It was 2 peas in a pod.
Oh, two
Yeah,
pea.
yeah,
That's what it became.
I suggested that my stripper name would be Sweet Paprika.
Oh, that's right. And
Because
then I
that's what
said
was on the
Snow Pea.
fish.
And then Coral came up with
Yeah, 2 peas in a pod. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Cool.
where the hell does this show go?
I
Right, so it becomes natural. I used to be very boring, right? I used to be just the expert, the smart kid. I'd put up the hand and say exactly what the nun wanted to hear. That was my natural state a long time ago. Do you think it's even possible for me to do that now?
No.
Right? Radio, you want me to tell you what you want to hear? You You got another thing coming.
That's the rebel in you, isn't it? When people ask you a question, they just want to know the answer, and you always make us fish for it. Not
Always.
fish, but work it out for ourselves.
You gotta. If you don't work it out for you, right?
Yeah.
You got another thing coming.
Okay.
All
right. So that was for Jonathan. Thanks very much for your question, Jonathan. And the last question today is from Alana in Dream Driven Day, manifesting money middles. And Alana asks...
By the way, some of the ones today I asked people to shorten down to like 2 or 3 sentences, and they didn't get back to me in time. So there's some paraphrasing in some of these. So if I paired your phrase...
Okay.
Yeah, if 2 pairs of twins each have 2 pairs of pairs, how many pairs are there? If it's a little off, sorry, I tried my best.
Okay.
Remember we did that to the sock lady? Well, the sock lady says, how many pair you want? I said, this ought to be good. So, sock lady, if 2 pairs of twins each have 2 pairs of pairs, how many pairs are there?
It just does my head in. Alana asks, when it comes to my job, things are better, my day is more flexible. I feel like I manifested a middle because I've been feeling it real to be free of working for money.
So I imagine once in a while making out with this girl, right? So it's like yum yum. So imagine like the after yum. Ready? It goes something like this. Right? Everybody do that wherever you are right now, right? Especially if you're in public. Do that, right? So am I doing that or seeing that or a little bit of both? We don't know, right? But here's the cool thing, because it's all me pushed around or out or something. So this whole thing about middles, right? So if you're imagining like, let's call it the morning after cup of coffee, right? So we're using the coffee game to imagine if it manifest up some bow chicka wow wow, right? I'd enjoy the kissing, right? I'd enjoy the mood music. I'd enjoy the cuddle afterwards. Yeah, it doesn't mean... So you got the middles are happening now. You're either kissing or cuddling or whatever. You're manifesting up that cup of coffee, right, where you're not doing anything else other than having a cup of coffee and going, I wonder what she's going to tell her friends. Right? Isn't that what it's all about? You know,
it is
at the end of the day, you're going...
They always want to know how good was I.
I bet she's telling her friends right about now.
God. Yeah, okay.
All right. But hey, while you're kissing and cuddling and Nancy, truth.
Exactly.
I'm gonna see your phone.
All right.
Alrighty. Where the hell's I going with that? Oh yeah,
well,
enjoy the middles, because if the job's getting better,
that's what I was thinking. Things are better. My days are more flexible. It's like, it's happening. Loads better than what it was.
So it's like when I imagined up my car, right? So imagine up my car, and at that point I needed to go to the dog park on the weekends and all that good stuff. So imagine up my car, and it was like a Tuesday or a Wednesday or something. And so I nailed BMW on her. I'm in the driveway. I said, that's it, BMW, boom, zoom, zoom, zoom. I'm immediately drawn to go into the house. I go on carsales.com.au. And right now, hey, there's a new listing just up like an hour ago. BMW 3 Series, black in color. Because in Australia, we've got a lot of white cars, right? I am not a fan of white cars. That's just me. I mean, we had one. I enjoyed it. It was a lovely car. Tic Tac served us well. But I am not a white car guy. Right?
Makes a lot of sense in Australia because it's so hot.
Yeah, like we don't have aircon, right? You just crank it up and kill the earth. It doesn't really matter in the end. Anyway.
Okay.
Somebody's not going to like me for this.
I know. Wind the windows down, I think it means. Yeah, go.
Yeah, the rules can hardly. Anyway.
Yes.
So, imagine up the car. Right? Actually, I imagine up Ticklebelly Hill. I'm in the back seat and that's going. I can feel the in my body. I look back and see my dog in the back seat. You've all seen Emmett. Didn't have Bruce then. And so I find this car, click on the thing, gives me the number. I call the guy up, Tom Sawyer. I said, Tom Sawyer, this ought to be fun. Yeah, what's your name? You don't want to know. I'll be there shortly. So we show up, cash in pocket, all that stuff. We go through the thing. I drive the car around. He goes, what do you think? I says, I love the car. I hate the tires. He goes, well, you're stuck with the tires because I passed the safety inspection. I'm like, radio. Right? Y'all in that other thing. Remarkable. You know what that means. I'm not listening to you. Right?
Yeah.
And what happens? He keys it in. He goes, radio. Yeah, what was the question? It was a good question. It's like, when do you want the car?
Yeah.
And I said, I want it now. I have cash, you have car. And, what makes this hard? Right? And he goes, well, we got a problem. And I'm like, oh, what's the problem? And he goes, well, it hasn't passed the safety inspection. I said, righty-o. Well, I want it like as soon as like, right? Possibly. So here's what happens, right? I give him cash. He keeps the car. Right, he calls us on Friday. He says, hey, the good news is your car is done and you got new tires. And it's like, of course I did. Right? Because my car doesn't have shit tires on it. Not a fan of shit tires. Right? Now, here the key with why do I say this for this story particularly? For this question, this story. Because it's not like I manifested up a middle with the car without the right tires or anything, or I manifested up the money to get the car, or I manifested up a weird guy named Tom Sawyer wearing all sorts of gold around his chest. It's like, oh, this is going to be real fun. Can I touch it? Is that real gold? Right? But at the end of the day, you're crossing bridges. Sounds like you're crossing a bridge. So good on you, ALANNA. And so happy you're in Triple D. We're going to have a lot of fun. Because ALANNA's in the current Triple D.
Sweet.
KOROLL is in the current Triple D.
Yes.
There was another one, but I couldn't get the post from her to put in the thing. So bugger. But
Cool.
that's all right. Oh, yeah, and who else is in the current Triple D that's here?
Sorry.
It is... Where the fuck is it? ALANNA is in the current Triple D.
That's who we just said was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was her question.
Oh, yeah. I'll be damned.
That's right. Excellent.
All right.
All right, cool. So that was for ALANNA.
I'm cold.
Thanks loads for your question. You are cold.
I'm
And
shivering like Emmett.
looking forward to the DDD with you.
Hoo-ha.
Meanwhile, what we want to know is tell us what's your hashtag strawberry bits. And mine was how so many of them came back to state. Identity-based like
Yeah, totally.
different states that you move through and stuff like that. So, yeah, that was my strawberry bit.
That's from manifesting to the max, by the way. And if you haven't got that, like some people are going to go, yeah, and it's okay. It's like, I can't do Triple D this time because I don't have enough money or I'm making money the excuse. Both can be real, right? Because some people don't have enough money. Some people go, yep, but I want to keep my safety cushion. It's like, I'm not a fan of safety cushions, right? But yeah, whatever it is, if you're not going to do Triple D this time, grab manifestingtothemax.com. Because that identity-based manifesting, the way we weave it in there is really smooth. And
the manifesting actually with
that's another one too.
The emotions, like the
the
feeling.
chart. The three hoses.
Yeah.
We'll make sure we put links to all of them in the show notes.
Cool.
So
Excellent. Excuse me.
So what was your strawberry bit?
I just gave you mine. What was your hashtag? What was your hashtag story there, babe?
Playing with the yak thing. Yeah, because seriously, it fits in with so many of the questions because yak. Yeah, as soon as you stop demonizing whatever. I mean, think about the artificial men and women, right? Here's the arguments, right? They're both the same. Radio. So I've been hearing that argument for a while. And it's like, well, they're both different and neither one likes the other one. Radio.
Neither one likes the other one.
Then if I'm Dave Chappelle, it's like, yeah, then they're the ones that identify with the ones that they're not. Right? It's like, right. And so, versus if you just drop all the bullshit and it's like, radio, what's my desire here? My desire is to be a happy, loving husband. That means I'm enjoying her.
There you go.
Yak.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I could get 100% attention then.
All the time.
Cool.
I love when we do the yak in the shower. So like when you're in the shower, it's funny. I want to talk to you about something. Slowly, Victoria. And she's in the shower, just going yak.
Yeah.
Yak.
Yeah.
Go. I just love me some anticipation.
All
All
right,
right.
you guys. So that was our hashtag strawberry boots. While you type in yours, go to easymanifestingmethods.com.
That's right.
Join our 90-day adventure at manifestingmasterycourse.com.
By the way, we're going to really screw up the whole exit for you. Ready? Instantmanifesting.com. I got some good shit happening there. It's
Instantmanifesting.com.
Yeah, it's a work in progress. It's a labor of love, everyone. It's good over there and check it out. And I'm going to be sending out a special email if you're one of those people that's not on the email list, right? Yeah, did I talk about this? The whole thing now when people text me, it's like, Mr. 20, I've been following you, and I got a question about manifesting my special person with affirmations. And I go, sure. Right? So that's like, right. Go ahead, but yeah, what's your email? And then you can watch them. They go, dot, dot,
Yeah.
dot, dot, dot.
Nothing comes up.
Yeah. Do I really want to ask him a question? We call it the trust test. Like so back in the old days, I used to lead a lot of live workshops, and we did that whole trust thing. The trust thing where somebody stands behind someone,
and you got to just fall backwards.
Yeah, you fall backwards, and somebody catches you.
Yeah.
And they say, right, everybody pair up. This is what I want you to do. One falls, the other one catches. Okay, you have to have at least 2 people per class actually hit the ground.
Increase that trust element.
Exactly. Because if everyone knows that everyone's getting caught, it's not trust. It's called ticking the box.
Yeah.
Right. But if somebody actually slams, you know what I mean?
I would want to be really little and thin and pick a really big guy to catch me.
I'd like to pick who I get to drop. I mean, catch.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so that's instantmanifesting.com.
And join us in dreamdrivenday.com. From this moment, we'll be actually starting the course in 7 days and 6 hours. Oh no, let's make it a sign: 7 days, 7 hours, and 77 minutes, and 77 seconds.
Okay.
All right. Considering we use a base 60 method for numbers, or at least minutes. Oh, dear God, it's going to screw everyone up. DreamDrivenDay.com. If you find yourself way too serious, if you've watched the show and you're going,
they're dicks.
I wish this guy would just talk slowly and stand there with a crayon.
I know.
Right? You need the course.
Yeah.
All right.
Have a great day, night, weekend, Mother's Day.
Yep. You know what that woman's doing on Mother's Day?
It's all right. You don't need to recite.
That woman is going to go be with that ungrateful woman. You know what's cool? She's going to come home, and you know what's going to happen? Yick, yick, yick.